Loretta Lynch, the president's choice to replace embattled Attorney General Eric Holder, recently said it was the Bush administration who politicized the DOJ.
8 to 10 years ago, the Department of Justice was unfortunately politicized. The Civil Rights Division became a shadow of itself. I have basically seen the department going through almost a post-Watergate era. I think we're coming out of that.
So if she replaces Holder, will it just be more of the same? Let's ask Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano joins me this morning.
Good morning, Kimberly.
Pretty intense comments there.
Yeah, you know, the comments that she just made, I think, were in reference to voter ID laws, and she has challenged, at least politically, the notion of voter ID laws, making people show an ID before they can vote. But these statements she made were before the Supreme Court basically said the Texas voter ID law is constitutional. And the Loretta Lynch that I know is a respecter of the Supreme Court and a respecter of the law of the land, even if she disagrees with it. Stated differently, I think she's probably the most traditionalist nominee you could ever expect out of this president. By traditionalist, I mean a serious, experienced prosecutor without a political agenda.
Well, so far, you're making quite a case for her, so that tells me something. Now, I want to get on to something else. This is important, because if you were there asking the questions to determine her confirmation, you've got some specifics that you think should be asked. Let's go through this. Number one, disregard due process by killing uncharged, unsentenced Americans.
You know, the main problem with Eric Holder is he was President Obama's enabler. Whenever President Obama wanted to break the law, Eric Holder found him a way to do it. In my view, the worst thing he did was claiming the power to kill Americans. This is not somebody who escaped from jail or was robbing a bank. It's an American living peacefully in another country, never charged with a crime, never convicted of the crime, never sentenced. So I would say to her, would you authorize the president to do this? Would you tell the president he can open the borders?
Yeah, this is the next one. Would you say to him, open the borders to Central American children and grant amnesty to illegals? What do you think her answer would be?
I think her answer is either going to be a non-answer or no, because she'd be far more faithful to the law, in my view, rather than to the politics that she and the president might share.
More of a strict constitutionalist. All right, number three, allow the NSA to execute general search warrants. I know this is a big one for you.
Well, a general warrant basically is where the court says, you know, search where you want and seize whatever you find.
Without specificity.
Right. They're outlawed under the Fourth Amendment. It's wrong when judges issue them. It's wrong when the government executes them. Will she let that continue?
And that's in front of the court. All right. And decline to enforce laws with which he disagrees.
This is a profound issue with Barack Obama, who does not want to enforce laws that he disagrees with. How will you, as his attorney general, advise him on that?
Advise him, exactly. That's a big one. Subpoena phone records and personal emails of reporters. James Rosen, people.
Look, Eric Holder admitted it was the worst thing he did as attorney general. Will you follow that admission, or will you follow his practice? He subpoenaed the records of 300 Associated Press reporters.
We got to put a stop to that, but I think you're giving her high marks so far, so good anticipation going forward. Hope they ask your questions, Judge.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Always a pleasure.
All the best.